Hello, and welcome to my channel. World Championships has concluded, maybe quite a while ago. I'm not quite sure when this video is going up yet because I've got many in the works right now. But with that being over and that being obviously the main competition of this season, I wanted to talk about what's next if you've gotten super into track and field and you just don't want the action to stop, what you can watch in the next couple of months, and what's on the calendar for next year. So first, like I said, I want to talk about what's on the calendar for the next couple of months, because even though it's pretty slow, as it's, the latter part of a world championship year, and most people will end their seasons here, there are a couple more events that we can look forward to watching. The first one is the World Para-Athletic Championships, which will run from September 27th to October 8th. Depending on when this video goes up, they may already be going on, but I'm going to try to post this before October 8th. So at some point, it will go up probably sometime in that time frame. That is always really great to see. I believe we'll be seeing the likes of Hunter Woodhull there, and lots of our other favorite stars. Ezra Freck will also be running or jumping or both at those championships. But then that will be followed by Athlos NYC. If you don't know, Athlos is an all-women's track organization. They did the same event last year. It's kind of part concert, part track event. It's not a super competitive atmosphere, definitely not what any track fan is used to, but it can be kind of fun as a novelty watch. And they are trying to start a women's only track league that will meet multiple times next year. So that will be super interesting to kind of look at it and see if they're making any changes, kind of thinking forward to that and kind of seeing what we might expect from this new league. Obviously, the last one didn't go so well, so we'll hope for better this time. So that will be on October 10th. That's a pretty short event. It's only like 2 or 3 hours, so a nice Friday night watch if you're a track fan. And they do have some pretty big stars. I know Tara Davis Woodhull is one of them that they will have in attendance there. And then we get into the cross-country circuit, a pretty short cross-country circuit, but it starts off with the USATF Cross-Country Championships on December 6th, and it's closely followed by the SPAR European Cross-Country Championships on December 14th. Me personally, I love the European champs. I especially love watching the mixed relay. The US champs are also super fun, but we've also seen many superstars come through the ranks at European champs, most notably right now, Jimmy Gressier, the 10,000 meter world champion and 5,000 meter bronze medalist, and Nadia Battlecletti, the 10,000 meter silver medalist and 5,000 meter bronze medalist. So we've definitely seen some star power rise through the ranks of European cross, so I highly recommend watching that. And the World Cross Country Championships will be happening on January 10th of next year, so January 10th of 2026. And that's basically all we have left. Like I said, end of a world championship year, but not too much. But there are some things you can have to keep it going. Obviously, after January, we will have indoor season, not a super busy indoor season, and most of that stuff is not out and available right now. But there will definitely be things to come kind of in that realm. But looking ahead to 2026, it should in theory be a gap year because world championships are every 2 years and then Olympics every 4 years, so there should be 1 year every 4 years that's like a gap year, and this should technically be the gap year, but World Athletics is trying to fill the gap with the World Athletics Ultimate Championships in Budapest in 2026. So they're hosting this at the same stadium where they hosted the 2023 World Championships, and they have kind of an interesting idea for this championships. Now, obviously, this is brand new, World Athletics Ultimate Championships. It's only a 3-day event. It'll run from the 11th to the 13th of September in 2026. And it's kind of interesting because they've only put what they call like the most competitive events on their schedule. So it ends up being a bit of an interesting schedule because some races, there's like a men's race and there's no women's race. Like there's 2 5,000s, there's both sets of short and long hurdles, But like, and like some of the events are kind of mirrored on both sides, but like there's no women's hammer throw. There's no there's a mixed 4x1, which will be kind of the debut for that, so that will be interesting. But there's no women's 4x1, there's only men's 4x1. There's also no 4x4s. So it's a little bit interesting how they've done the schedule. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I assume they have some names already committed to people that are going to run at this, because the other thing is it's only a 3-day event, and so it's going to be finals only. So what they're doing is they want, like, their idea is like only the best will be able to compete. There's no limits per country, but so basically they have given buys to the 2024 Paris Olympic champions, and they have given buys to Tokyo 2025 World Champions. They're hosting a total of like 26 events, I believe, throughout the 3 days. So 26 Olympic champions and 26 world champions have automatically qualified, obviously, unless there's like overlap, and then obviously it'll be less than that number. And then 25 Diamond League winners from the 2026 season will qualify, and the best performers of 2026 based on the World Rankings qualification system. So that is how they'll qualify. Like I said, no country limits. It's not replacing world championships. It's kind of like to have something to do, I guess, in the gap year. So also I do want to mention this. This is why they say certain events are not included. It's a shorter event. Not every event can be included, but each session offers a carefully curated mix of track events, jumps, and throws, ensuring the entire stadium is buzzing and fans are on the edge of their seats. So I'm not quite sure also. I think this is really interesting. The Ultimate Championships are also planned to be held in 2028. They want to hold this every 2 years. So they want it to close out the season in 2028 following the LA 28 Olympic Games. Now, yes, last year the Diamond League final was after the Olympic Games. The Diamond League final, I think, is not quite the same scale, though. And I don't quite know how that's going to work, to be honest. But let's get through 2026 first, for sure. But I think this is interesting. I am definitely wondering how many people they have signed on to say, like, yes, we're definitely going to run, because that's the other thing with that kind of system is, like, people from Paris 2024, there could be Olympic champions in Paris 2024 that are already retired by 2026. Is that very likely? No, but, like, it's possible. So, like, I'm just kind of curious because, like, those pool sizes could shrink fairly quickly, especially because it is an off year and lots of people do plan for it to be, you know, an off year, because that's kind of how the calendar is built. Like, to give athletes a year off every once in a while. Obviously, there's still competition, but there's no, like, major championship. And I'm just interesting to see, like, are athletes going to just kind of show up to this in the middle of their training block like it's like a Diamond League meet, or like how's it going to work? I'm very curious about this event. I'm definitely a little bit skeptical. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think this is a really great idea? Because maybe you do, and I just have no idea what I'm talking about. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're as excited for cross season as I am. I can't wait for December 14th. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!